are fat. Free!
Yeah, that's right, mothers. I'm back. This is the first wraparound week, if you will. We're back to doing 7s on the main set, followed by a set of 8 on the back-off set. And this was another good week of lifting. The calories are going in, and the weights are going up, which is the goal of this segment. Getting body weight on and hopefully have some of that actually be muscle. This week's calories were 3,030, ended up being the average, which is good. And my average weight on the scale in the morning was up 0.7 pounds, which is good. So nice and easy. You know, after that initial big burst of weight gain, which was, as I mentioned before, likely water and glycogen. After that, we've now settled into what appears to be a slow march upwards, which is good. What you're seeing here is incline press that I do on Saturday, which I don't think you've seen yet because this was the first week that I actually achieved my target reps. I actually got 10 reps on all 3 sets. One of the things about this edition of these, 3x10 bodybuilding style movements with just 1 minute in between sets is it basically has brought back in some failure training, which I had not been doing in quite a while. And as I recall, years ago, both in powerlifting and in training with friends, when you are able to push to failure, you can make great progress because you're really pushing your body to its max. One of the issues, of course, is doing that safely without training partners can be problematic. So I like that. I found a way to work that back into my training without having to use super heavy weights, so that if there is a problem, at the end of a set, I'm not gonna, drop the bar and break my face. It is actually time, however, to give a shout out to my mother. Hi, Mom. And the reason I want to do that here is because you can see what I'm wearing here. It was quite chilly in the house this day, and I'm wearing the ever classic shorts, t-shirt, and a ski hat. And the story behind that is when I was young and growing up in Buffalo, winters were quite long and cold. And if it was ever the case that the high temperature got above like 34, so like maybe the high was like 36, all my friends and I, would be tearing out of the house just like this, shorts, t-shirt, because, it feels warm when you've been having a cold winter. And, our mothers would be yelling to put warmer clothes on. And I'd always yell back to my mom, but look, Mom, I'm wearing a hat, so I'm good. Memories. But as she will see when she sees this video, some things never change. When it's cold, that's a good time to wear shorts and t-shirt and a ski hat. Hey, so sorry in advance if the sound levels are a little off in this video because I had to rebuild my machine. I think I got some kind of malware / virus thing. It wasn't too bad, but I was like, time to just, erase everything and rebuild the box because I hadn't done it in, at least a couple of years. So Anyway, I'm trying to get get everything back to the way I had it, and so blah blah blah. Time for a diabetes update. So I've been taking my blood sugar with one of those, stab your finger, get a drop of blood, and test your glucose meters. I'm starting to think, and I happen to check on the internet as well, that these meters are pretty much unreliable, that so many factors that are out of your control, like for example temperature, humidity, things like that, can actually affect what kind of readings you get on them. And the reason I got suspicious was I started, and for a couple days straight was getting perfect readings, between 80 and 100 in the morning, and even at night before going to bed it would often be under 100. And then what initially appeared to be out of nowhere, I started getting readings that were high and consistently, right? Morning and night were both like over 100. And I was like, what? I was like, maybe I actually do have diabetes. What I found out later was that since temperature and humidity can muck with the results that are being displayed, that change from good readings to not so good readings came right at the same time as we had a very warm tropical weather pattern move into this area, and thus, the temperature and the humidity both went up significantly. So what I'm waiting for is that in this coming week, I think starting Sunday, we're supposed to get another very fall-like weather pattern where it's going to be very crisp and cool and dry. And so I'm going to be looking to see if the numbers go back to where they were, when I first started taking the measurements. And after seeing what happens with that, we'll see if I need to make any decisions about if I have to make any changes to diet or anything like that. I've been tracking volume slightly differently than I was in the past. These days, I'm keeping track of pretty much every movement I do in the workout. I only show, my big four of, bench, overhead press, deadlift, and squat. But I do count. Timeout, phone's ringing. Anyway, like I was saying, I do count everything now. So that includes my weighted chin-ups, my bent over rows, my tricep extensions that I do, all that stuff. That's been coming out, around 50,000 pounds a week, which is cool. About half of that is the big four like I was counting before, but because I'm doing the kind of work that's more bodybuilder specific and thus the weights are lighter, I'm doing the same amount of volume but without the same amount of intensity as I was before, because before those weights were way closer to my 1 rep max than the weights are that I do for 3 sets of 10 for obvious reasons. But it was a good week, like I said before. Hit all my numbers and felt good on 3 of the days. The only day I didn't feel great was this day, which was deadlift heavy and squat for volume. But I still hit the numbers that I'd wanted to hit, so no problems there. Next week is going to be the 5s week again, and I'm expecting it to go well. So with that, I'm going to call it for this week, and we'll talk to you guys next time.